He was quite suicidal. He was kicking everything, punching everything, hysterical.
I never used to do nothing in school. I used to argue with all the teachers. I used to fight.
The way teachers come across and other people come across with me, I just thought that he didn't like me, so I began to not like them.
Angry, kicked out, and written off. Some of them missed years of education, all of them in danger of vanishing from the education system altogether. But these pupils in Liverpool have found a way back in.
And it's all thanks to their local football club.
These are going to be young men and women in a couple of years, and if we can give them a decent foothold to get there, then hats off to the club.
As the fan, it makes you proud to wear your team on your chest every day, just what you want really.
The question is, does Everton really make a difference?
Tell me a bit about what it was like before, this sort of routine in the mornings for you.
It was very, very different because Liam wasn't happy going to school. It was very anxious for me as well as a parent, knowing I was having to go to work all day and my son was somewhere where he hated being.
Liam has attention deficit disorder and autism.
It was just like hard to get the work done because I'd always need them one-on-one. Like, it'd just be so hard to complete a task.
So I'd worry all day, like today, is he going to get hit at break time? Today, are they going to be waiting for him after school? Through all the time that he was getting bullied, he was losing so much schoolwork. He got his tooth knocked out one day. I think that was towards the end when I was like, that's it.
Liam moved to a second mainstream school but started getting into trouble.
The teacher there called me in and she said he's going to need something more one-to-one. So they recommended Everton Free School.
Everton Free School was set up in 2012 with the expressed intention of engaging young people who'd fallen out of education for a multitude of reasons.
So that's an example of a rule of three. So what I want you to
Our curriculum at Everton Free School focuses very much on English, Maths and Science as their core GCSEs. We then do a range of subjects that we think will support them in getting into further education, into work and employment.
This is all paid for by the government. Children are often sent here by mainstream schools who can't cope with them. It's an alternative to a pupil referral unit, run as a free school, independent of the national curriculum.
Some of our young people have extremely difficult home lives, kicked out of their previous schools. Some of our young people, unfortunately, have become mixed up in gangs. Some of them might actually be in care. I suppose we're a lifeboat for them. Quite often we're a sort of a last chance saloon.
Were you a bit worried? I mean, Everton Free School takes on lots of students who've had a hard time.
It was definitely, without a doubt, the hardest decision, I'll get upset, that I've ever had to make as a parent. Ever had to make, yeah. Because I thought, am I throwing my child kind of from the furnace into the fire? Am I putting him with all these children who have been, you know, excluded from school for whatever reason? So I was thinking, am I doing the best thing for him? And I really, really had to think hard about it.
It is normal education, not a football school, but links with a Premier League club bring big benefits.
so times 6 squared. Now we were practicing our calculator work last week in class.
And you've brought them over today to a box at Everton.
It's a perk of the job.
Yeah.
Some of them are Everton fans, so it means the world of them coming over here. It's an extra incentive. It helps to get them into school, get them engaged and get them settled, really.
Are you an Everton fan?
No, I'm a Liverpool fan.
Really?
Yeah. Just better environment than a mainstream school.
What did you not enjoy so much about your last school?
There was too many people in the classes, I couldn't get my head down and learn properly. But in Everton Free School, I just feel like it's easier for me to learn, and I've learned so much more things than what I did in my previous school.
A lot of parents might be watching this and thinking, well, hang on, I'd love my kid to go to a school with 4 or 5 other people in their class. Would you say it was fair?
I have heard this gripe before. Some of them are coming off maybe 5–10% attendance in their previous school, which is, you know, maybe 1 day a month. Our main aim with those kids is to get them back up into the 80s and 90s.
I suppose it's kind of the idea that, you know, if an organisation like Everton cares about their education, then they should care about it.
Exactly. This is the first school based through a football club, and I think there's something like 17 of the other Premier League clubs are now doing their own thing and following Everton's example.
And all this comes at a cost to the taxpayer. £14,500 a year per pupil. That's about 3 times what a mainstream place would be.
Is it fair that these kids who've acted up perhaps in the past are somehow being rewarded for that now?
Well, it's a good point. I mean, we do work very closely with Merseyside Police. You know, young people who aren't engaged in their education, there's a really high correlation between those young people who end up in the criminal justice system. So in a sense, by engaging them in their education, that's got to be beneficial to everybody.
I'd rather go over Stanley Park and sit in Liverpool's ground, to be honest with you, in Anfield. But it's still good that we can just go over and sit in the box and have a chill, do work in there. It's no other school does that.
The whole point of Inside the City is to get you out the classroom, to bring your learner to life. When we come down here and when you see these cranes, at some point that we'll develop partnerships with employers. The first module is the history of transportation in Liverpool.
Chloe's 15 and has behavioural problems.
How many schools did you go to?
1.
Just 1, and you got kicked out of that school?
I was like naughty. I never used to do nothing in school. I used to argue with all the teachers. I used to fight. I never used to live in Liverpool. I used to live in Manchester. In Liverpool, it's violent, but not as violent as it was in Manchester.
When you say it's violent, what's that?
Like, people used to go around, like, carrying knives and that, and like, if you'd have a fight, you'd stab them.
And here, it's not like that so
No.
much.
The students are pretty shy about their past. That's understandable. But gangs are clearly a part of life for some.
I've got members of my family who are like in a gang. But like, you just keep yourself out of it. Just get your head down. Pointless really, I think, myself. Because you're just fighting against people who are either going to try and stab you or kill you.
Stab you or kill you?
Yeah, just for the stupid argument. And that's exactly what the gang's like.
Are they having an argument, or is she just
she's having an argument.
She's excited?
No, she's having an argument.
Liam's story is different. He's seen domestic violence in the past and had mental health issues.
The worst time in my life was when he was quite suicidal. There was this evening and he just completely flipped out. He was kicking everything, punching everything, hysterical. I was hysterical, crying because I didn't know what to do. So I said to him, I'm going to have to take you to Walter Hay Hospital, Liam. And I tried to explain to him why. I said, I'm really worried about you, I think you're sick. He said, yeah, I want to go to hospital, They referred him to child psychologist. I didn't see any options. And that's why when Everton Free School came up, it was like, this is an option.
Every term there's a classroom visit from an Everton player. Today it's Captain Phil Jagielka who's helping in a science lesson.
We've got the Bunsen burners going, have we? Yours ain't working, look.
It is.
It's not, is it? So he doesn't want to go red, that's why. A few of them want to speak to you, a few of them want to give you a little bit of banter. A couple of Liverpool fans in here and all sorts, so They refused to write the word blue down, for instance, today.
Oh, they didn't want to write the colour blue?
Yeah, it's just green instead. Can you put blue next to it? Hey, no, just keep it as green.
Just keep it as green.
Okay.
What was school like for you?
Well, I was very sporty at school, so I wouldn't say I loved it and enjoyed it, but it was something, you know, I understood was part and parcel of it. Then ended up with a BTEC Sports Science, so I've not had to use it yet, but it's something, you know, I'll be pushing my kids through.
Do you think kids around here get a bad rep?
I think it's easy to throw, you know, the scouts, the vibe and stuff like that out, but you know, I've been here for a long, long time now, and I've met some fantastic characters, some great people. If you give these kids a chance to open up and talk more often than not, you know, you've had a great day. You know, these are going to be young men and women in a couple of years, and I say if we can give them a decent foothold to get there, I say with the stuff that they do around here, then you know, hats off to the club.
So look presentable.
No gang signs.
You get the sense that the football club can, well, first of all, they can pay for things that the school wouldn't otherwise be able to get. They kind of give the school a brand. All the kids can walk around with a badge on their chest. But I think most importantly, for me anyway, you can see that it's a massive symbol of success. And for a lot of these kids, I think that's probably the most important thing.
Not much going off there, is there?
Teachers say they're getting results.
Well, there's a bit of blue.
Almost a quarter of students here get 5 or more A-star to G grades at GCSE. That's far higher than the national average for pupils like these.
I had a good chat to Liam and I said, do you want to go down the route of being in jail at 16 years of age and, you know, having no life ahead of you, or do you want to follow the dream?
Martin Luther King.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be escalated and every hill and mountain shall be made low.
From the very beginning they said to him, what's the dream? What's the dream? And they told him, they said, we'll support you and we'll get you to that.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state...
He's always had the same dream, and that's always to be a football coach.
Listening? 2 touch, okay? Joe, 2 in the middle.
On a Monday afternoon, come up here, coach these.
Who are they?
Just people who came from other places and just...
Refugees?
Yeah. You don't just really coach them in footy, you're learning them in the English language as well. It's great that the school do trust me and they've got the trust in you, so you know, if they can trust you, you can trust them really.
See, how long have you known Philip?
3 years.
Since you started at Everton?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
3 years and something, innit? 2.5 years. Did you get me footwork?
You got your footwork.
Did we get when he got megged?
Liam learns respect and responsibility. Joe too.
Brilliant arms.
And so what do you like most about the school?
The teachers. They all cooperative with you. They talk to you fine. You can't say a bad thing about them really.
Did you ever think that you'd be saying positive things about your teachers?
No, never, no. I always thought that teachers just hated every single kid in the school. If the school's well connected with a team that's as successful as them, then well, I can see that I could succeed.
Because I know your mum fought hard to get you here. What's your relationship like with her?
I've got a real good relationship with my mum. Probably is my best mate really.
I mean, if you think about where you were a few years ago and where you are now doing this, did you think you'd be doing this?
No, never thought about doing this.
You're wearing your Everton badge and you're getting to play football.
So obviously living the dream.